What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So, running back I wanted to get to that I absolutely love for this upcoming 2022 NFL Draft is former Florida Gators running back Dameon Pierce. So, what's interesting about Pierce, he was well, I guess not interesting, but you kind of have to take the university roster with a grain of salt. So, he's listed as 5'10" in the Florida roster. But supposedly he measured in officially at the Senior Bowl at 5'9", about 220 pounds. So a little bit heavier than they thought, which, probably is a good thing since he's he carries it well. He's a short, compact guy. But, why I love Pierce, with the solid, compact build, he's a guy that just really wants to punish defenders, get downhill. You watch in that Georgia game, he was just absolutely fearless. I mean, he's going against guys like Lewis Seen, who could be a first-round safety, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean likely the first linebacker off the board, and he is just coming downhill, breaking tackles, always falls forward. That was another thing that caught my attention about Dameon Pierce. He's always falling forward, a very effective stiff arm, and, has the ability to cut back against the grain and can, get something when there's really nothing there. And, for a guy who doesn't have great long speed, and, that's something you're really going to find out at the combine. As a guy that everyone's kind of reiterated that he's likely not going to test well, but, he's got pretty good short area acceleration, pretty good stop and start ability. So that is, what really stands out. And, Pierce is a guy that's just not getting a lot of love from a lot of experts, more so in recently, Mike Renner has, kind of talked more highly about him. Pro Football Focus, there's a couple analysts on there, starting to, give Pierce some more love. But a guy that's just kind of written off and not even in the top 5 to 10 in a lot of, websites and, some of the, the top analysts like the Jeremiahs of the world, the Bucky Brooks, guys on NFL Network. But, Pierce is definitely in my top 5 running backs. I'm kind of, someone who's, an outlier, not really, someone's kind of, breaking the mold, if you will, I guess. But, he is something, showed, awesome job. It's a tenacious pass blocker. That's something he really did a good job of at the Senior Bowl. A guy that is very willing to, has a great aggressive mentality when it comes to pass blocking, and like I said, underrated cutting ability, can slip tackles, powerful stiff arm, and I really just love what I've seen from Dameon Pierce. This guy that was never a starter at Florida, but like I said, good ability to find the end zone, great at the goal line, intense run against South Carolina. You saw a couple times. Well, there was one play he just lowered the boom and R.J. Roderick's helmet flew off. That was awesome to see. He's just a guy that just does not want to go down easily. I absolutely love it. Florida State game, helmet pops off, just keeps on going. And, I talked about his ability to make the cutback plays, but I think a lot of it stems from his high football intelligence, just being able to, read when the right time is to cut back, when to, kind of just, fall forward and gain as much yardage as you can. But, and for a guy that's been a physical, tough runner, he stayed fairly healthy at Florida. And, durability and availability is the name of the game in the National Football League. And those are two things that Dameon Pierce has, done a fine job at. But, you kind of worry about that as hard as he runs in the NFL. But he has seemed to, a lot of runs – he seemed to stay healthy, I'll say that. And then, a lot of runs he's good at, lowering the boom in a manner where he doesn't, get his head involved too much and doesn't, it's a lot of, I'm going to get the shoulder, I'll hit my shoulder collides with your shoulder. I can knock you back. I can get that extra yardage. It's not as much like I'm going to put my head down and really risk getting a concussion and knocking myself out of the game or, starting a domino effect of repeated brain or repeated head collisions. That is not something you want. So knowing how to lower the boom is a good thing. It's one thing to lower the boom on someone in an incorrect dangerous manner, but Pierce is good at doing it in an effective, safe manner for the most part. So, but yeah, I'm hoping Dameon Pierce will get some more hype. He's a guy that you really want to see his 10-yard split at the combine. He's not a guy that's likely going to run a super fast 40 time, but with everything I've mentioned, I think Dameon Pierce is going to get drafted higher than people think. It's crazy that as of now, he's probably, with consideration to where, most experts view it, likely, maybe 5th round to undrafted, somewhere in that range. I think he will get drafted. But, as a guy that even if he's just a backup in the NFL, it's going to be a very solid backup and a guy that'll, be productive and be a solid asset with all things considered, pass protection. And he's got I forgot to mention, he's got a good ability to catch the football. And his elusiveness is not like anything spectacular, but it's very solid. You see a lot of times, there's a few times Kyle Trask kind of threw the ball where he was almost left out to dry, and he's able to, quickly, evade a tackler and, get yardage. And, there's a lot of good, not a lot of, elite traits. I would say there's no, other than his ability to, take on contact with, no regard for his body. I would say there's no elite traits, not even really any great traits, but there's a lot of good with Dameon Pierce, and there's not a lot of negatives, just a all-around solid running back. So be interesting to see what Pierce does at the combine, what his official measurements are. But love Dameon Pierce. Just wanted to touch on and talk about him. Watched some film on him recently. So thank you guys so much for the continued support of the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Until next time, peace.